Yow, yow, yow. What up, what up, what up, my bet and family? We back with another video here at No Limit Bets for the NBA slate of April 2nd, 2023. Before we get started, though, as always, I would like to say good morning to y'all, good afternoon, whatever time it may be that you're watching this video. Hope y'all having a good one, and hopefully we can make it a better day by winning some money. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's truly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're less than 200 subscribers away from hitting that mark. So I definitely appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown thus far. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's video. I'm going to be bringing out my top 6 picks for today's or tonight's NBA slate of games. Just to do a quick recap of yesterday's picks that we did submit. We brought out the brooms again, y'all. We got another sweep. We were able to go 4-0. As you guys can see, Jonas Valanciunas was able to get it done. We took his over 27.5 points and rebounds. He ends up with 35. In the first half, offensively, he really didn't have it going. He only, I think, scored 4 points, but he definitely turned it up in the second half. And was able to get it done for us with 35 points. We also had Kyrie over 28.5 points and assists. This was a bit of a sweat. Definitely not the sweat of the night. We'll get into it here in a second. But Kyrie was a bit of a sweat as he was able to hit his over late in the fourth quarter, ending with 31 out of the 29 points and assists that we needed. And then we also had Jimmy Butler. He had a monster game with 35. This was kind of a no sweat as he started off hot. He had 16 points in the first quarter. I believe by halftime he had 20. So it was really kind of a no sweat, but he was able to have a monster game with 35 points. And now to get to the sweat of the night, we had Russell Westbrook over 11.5 rebounds and assists. And he just barely makes it over. He gets his last assist with 7 seconds left in the game. So he came up clutch with that one. Big props to Westbrook for that. So we were able to go 4-0. Now, I'm going to show you guys this next slip where we were also able to sweep 3-0. Now, to be real with y'all, this right here, this 3-pick was going to be the video I was going to put out. They didn't have any lines, any Clippers line. And then once I got done recording this video for the 3-pick, they put out the Clippers line, and I had to remake the video, and I posted the 4-pick. So this is why I have the same 3 picks as the 4-pick. It's just Russell Westbrook was added on to it. But 3-0, so 7-0 yesterday, man. We were able to pretty much double up on the picks and sweep on the same picks that we made. So we definitely want to keep that winning momentum going onto today's picks. So let's go ahead and hop right into them. For my first pick, I'm going to be going to the rebounds category, and I'm going to be going to the earliest game on the slate, the Raptors against the Hornets, and I'm going to be taking Jakob Poeltl over 10.5 rebounds. Now, over his last 5 games, as you guys can see, he's averaging pretty much right at this line at 10.2. He has hit the over in 2 out of his last 5. The 2 of the 3 misses that he did have were their past 2 games against Philly and the Heat, and he ended up right on the hook with 10. But he should have a favorable matchup today against the Hornets. Now, for the season, the Hornets are allowing the most rebounds per game to opposing centers. As we know, they've struggled all season to contain opposing centers. And also, over the last 15 games, they're allowing the second most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So even though it's been throughout the whole season, here recently, they've had the same struggles. And in one earlier matchup this season against the Hornets, Poeltl did only grab 9 rebounds in the only matchup against them. But that was literally the first game of the season for the Spurs when he was with the Spurs. So I don't want to put too much into that, but I'm going to be taking Jakob Poeltl over 10.5 rebounds here today over the Charlotte Hornets for my first pick. For my second pick, I'm going to go to the PRA category, and I'm going to be going down to the Knicks and Wizards game, and I'm going to be taking RJ Barrett over 27.5 PRAs. Now, I know over his last five, he's sort of been struggling, only going over in one of the last 5 games. He did end up one game on the hook against Houston with 27, and is only averaging 23.6 PRA over his last 5. But I like the matchup today. Number one, because as we know, Julius Randle is out with that ankle injury, so he should definitely be more involved in the offense, get more shot attempts, get more opportunities. Now, over the last 7 games, the Wizards are allowing the most points per game and the third most rebounds per game to opposing small forwards. So this should be a good matchup for him. Now, he has only hit this over in one of the 3 matchups against the Wizards this season. In those 3 games, he's had 23 PRAs, 30 and 19. Now, remember, in those 3 games, Julius Randle was playing. This one, there's going to be no Julius Randle. So like I just said, I believe he's going to be more involved with the offense, get more shot attempts, get more minutes, and be able to get us the 28 PRAs today for us. So I'm going to be rocking with RJ Barrett over 27.5 PRAs for my second pick. For my third pick, I'm going to be going to assist category. We're kind of pretty much running it back from a couple nights ago. We're going to be going to the Suns and OKC game, and I'm going to be taking Chris Paul over 9.5 assists. We took this prop a couple nights ago or 2 nights ago against the Nuggets, where he was able to get 13. So we're kind of running it back. As you guys could see, over his last 5, he's pretty much averaging at this line at 9.8, going over in 3 out of his last 5 games. But as I mentioned in that video where we took him against the Nuggets, he has KD now. It's going to be KD, Booker, Ayton. So Chris Paul just falls right into the facilitating point guard mode, which he's one of the best at in NBA history. And against OKC this season, he's gone over in one of the 3 games, having 6 assists in one game, 9, and then 13 in their latest matchup. But over the last 15 games, OKC is allowing the second most assists per game to opposing point guards. As we know, OKC likes to play at a very fast pace. So I expect the Suns to have a lot of, shot opportunities, a lot of, opportunities to score the basket. And I believe Chris Paul is going to definitely should be able to get us 10 assists here tonight. Now, like I just mentioned, with KD being in lineup, he's played with KD this season since the trade was made in 4 games, and he has gone over in 3 out of those 4 games. So yeah, I mean, I like this spot for him. I like the matchup, and like I just mentioned, Chris Paul just needs to sit back and facilitate, play make for guys like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Ayton, get him the ball at the right spot, and they should be able to put the ball in the basket. Now, also, this should be a good game, a very competitive game, as OKC is currently the 6th seed, a game up on Dallas for that last play-in spot, and the Suns are a game and a half up on the Warriors for that 4th seed. So the Suns definitely want to keep that home court advantage, at least for that first round. So I'm going to be taking Chris Paul over 9.5 assists for my third pick. For my fourth pick, I'm going to be going to the points and rebounds category, and I'm going to be going down to another big game tonight. I'm going to be going to the Philly and Bucks game, and I'm going to be taking Giannis Antetokounmpo over 41.5 points and rebounds. Now, against Philly, he's hit this over in 9 out of his last 11 games. And when he plays Philly at home at Milwaukee, he's hit this over in 10 straight games. So I definitely expect a big game from Giannis. One of the reasons being they just coming off of a blowout game. They lost by 41 points to the Boston Celtics. So I expect this to be a big bounce back game from him. And then also they're trying to keep that #1 seed, man. They're only a game and a half up on Boston for that #1 seed. So if they want to keep it, they got to get a dub here tonight. And I expect Giannis to be a big part of that and get us 42 points and rebounds. So I'm going to be taking him for my 4th pick. For my 5th pick, I'm going to be going to the points category, and I'm going to be going down to another big game. We got some good games here tonight on a big slate. I'm going to be going down to the Warriors and Nuggets game, and I'm going to be taking Steph Curry over 28.5 points. As you guys can see, over his last 5, he's averaging right at this number with 28.2, hitting the over in 3 out of his last 5 games. Now, like I just said, this is the big game here as currently the Warriors are the 5th seed, a game and a half behind the Suns for the 4th seed, but they're only a half game up on the Clippers, who are the 6th seed currently. So they definitely don't want to fall down to possibly be in the play-in, and I'm pretty sure they want to be able to gain some ground on getting that first round home court advantage. Now against the Nuggets, he has played them twice this season, and he's hit the over in one of the 2 games, scoring 34 and 28 games. Now the one that he missed, as I just mentioned, he had 28 points. He missed right on the hook. But when he plays at Denver, he's hit the over in 4 out of his last 5 games. In those 5 games, he scored 30, 31, 35, 34, and the 28 that I just mentioned in their latest matchup this season that he missed right on the hook. So also for the season, the Denver Nuggets are allowing the 5th most points per game to opposing point guards. So all in all, I expect a big game from Steph Curry here tonight. He should have a favorable matchup to get us those 29 points. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my 5th pick. And for my 6th and last pick, I'm going to go back to the PRA category. I'm going to be going to the Grizzlies and Bulls game. And I'm going to be taking Nikola Vucevic over 30.5 points. Let me just go ahead and get to him. There we go right here. Nikola Vucevic over 30.5 PRAs, Now, as you guys can see, he's over his last 5. He's averaging just above this line at 31.6, going over in 3 out of his last 5 games. One of the games, which was against the Lakers, where he only had 7, he got ejected in the first half. So I really don't want to count that towards it. But also, he missed it against the Hornets, barely just missing it with 29 PRAs. Here against the Grizzlies, as we know, since they lost Steven Adams, they lost pretty much all their inside presence. And over the last 15 games, the Grizzlies are allowing the 5th most points per game and the 3rd most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So this should be a favorable matchup for him. Now, in the one earlier matchup this season against the Grizzlies, he did have 51 PRAs. But in that game, there was no DeRozan. DeRozan is playing today. Obviously, we don't need 51 PRAs from him. We only need 31. So I'm going to be rocking with him for my 6th and last pick. So just to recap, we're going to be taking the over on all our 6 picks here tonight. I erased Curry, so let's go ahead back and get him back on the board. And as always, if you guys agree with any of my plays, please do your own research. Just don't take my word for it. And here at No Limit Bets, we like to go with the low risk, high reward. So we're going to be placing a $7 entry for the possibility of winning $175. So let's go ahead and place that entry. And that's going to be it for today's video, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the games tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Let's get this money.